All right, so today let's talk about one of the worst things, yes, the worst things a freight broker, a new freight broker that's just getting started can do. This actually works against you being successful as a freight broker. It works against you being successful as a business owner. But for some reason, we think it will be a positive. We think that we are going to get more out of hiring somebody than we actually are. So you go out and you hire an employee. That is the worst thing that you can do as a business owner, in my opinion, as a freight broker business owner when you first get started. Now, let me explain why it's the worst decision that you can make, right? Because as a new freight broker, already there's not a whole lot of money coming in, right? Because we got to build a business. We got to build our customer base. We have to start making cash flow through this business, right? So when you hire an employee, now what you're doing is you're committing to paying somebody whether they produce or they don't produce, right? And you're also committing to paying payroll taxes. So now you're not making any money and you're spending money on an employee. And you're thinking in your mind that this employee will build the business while you fund the business, right? While you say, hey, I'm going to go in and I'm going to keep working and I'm going to make money. I'm going to make sure that I provide the money to the business during this time. I can pay the employee and the employee will build the business and I'll manage it, right? 9 times out of 10, that is not going to work. I've seen countless number of people try this way of doing business, right? They go out and they hire someone and they're expecting that person to take the reins and handle the day-to-day operations of a business, to build that business. And it just does not work that way. Why? Because that person does not have the same commitment, the same dedication, and they don't actually know exactly what they're supposed to be doing yet, right? This person does not have the experience of building a business. So what makes you think they are going to build your business? It's wishful thinking. It's you saying, hey, I know I have to work, but I can't work and run the business. I can't be in 2 places at one time, so I have to get somebody else to run the business. But what you usually end up doing is paying that person and not getting much value out of what you're paying for, right? Because you've already committed to paying this person however often you're going to pay, whether that's weekly or that's on a monthly basis, maybe on a monthly basis, but you're going to pay payroll taxes and you're not going to get out of that person what you really expect, right? And really, when you start thinking about it, you are expecting way too much. If you're expecting someone else to have the commitment and dedication to build your business, that is for you to do. That's your job. That's your responsibility to build that business. Building a business is tough. So I don't expect anybody else to come in and build a business for me. When I do look to hire my first employee, I would look at hiring a spouse. I would not hire anybody else except a spouse when I first get started hiring the first person in my business. Now, here's the reason for that. Because when you are trying to build a business, you want to keep all of the cash flow, all of the money, the income in-house, right? We don't want to start taking money out of the business if we don't have to, right? So if I'm looking at it, I'm saying to myself, okay, I'm going to be responsible for building this business. I'm responsible for building wealth. What I need to do is to find out what is the best way to do that, right? Hiring a spouse after you have income coming in is a good way to do that. Yes, you're going to pay payroll taxes, but now you can go in, pay that spouse, and keep all of that money in-house. If you had a 401k set up for the spouse, you're still keeping all of that money in-house, building wealth together as a family instead of taking that money outside of your business, because right now is not the time for that. Right now, when you first get started, is not time to start taking money out of the business. It's about figuring out how can I, make this money multiply, right? How can I create wealth within my business? And the way that you do that is hire your spouse and keep the money in-house. What usually happens when you go out and you hire someone is they really don't understand what it is that you want. right? You are a new business owner. You haven't really articulated what the plan is, what the vision is. So they can't really help you in the way that you think they're going to help you. You end up paying that person. You're just giving that person money and you're not getting much in return, especially so when we're talking about freight agents, right? And then it sets the wrong precedent. It sets up the freight agent for failure, in my opinion, because they get this idea that I'm going out and I'm going to work and I'm going to get paid, right? But that's not how the freight broker business works. It doesn't work like, oh, if I go out and I work 8 hours, I'm going to get X amount of dollars. No, your pay is based on what you go out and sell. We are commission-based business. So if you go out and you sell yourself, you sell your business and you get customers and those customers start working with you, then you're set up to make money. But you're not just going to get paid because you show up for work. And that sets the wrong precedent, in my opinion. It gives the freight agent the wrong idea in their mind that, oh, okay, I just need to show up for work. I need to work X amount of hours and I am going to get paid. No, you need to sell in order to get paid. You need to make money and then you get a commission-based pay based on what it is that you do. It's important, super important to understand that. And I'm not talking about, private contractors. If you had someone working for you as a contractor and you've agreed that, hey, when that person works, they're going to get paid X amount of dollars for what it is that they do, that is much better than hiring an employee, right? Because employees, I have to pay them regardless, right? And of course, I got to pay those payroll taxes. So if I'm looking to hire somebody, even if it's a freight agent, for me, I'm not going to do that within the first year of business. I'm going to lay the groundwork. I'm going to have my standard operating procedures in place, my processes in place. I'm going to have something infrastructure-wise that's built where that person can come in and start working without having to figure out things on their own. I'm going to have credit established so we can get loads moved without them having to wonder how they're going to get loads moved, right? So when you have that infrastructure in place, now you are in a better position to be able to start hiring somebody. But definitely, it still wouldn't be for me, employees. It's going to be private contractor. A contractor will come in and then I would hire that person if I'm hiring a freight agent. When they work, as far as selling something, they're commission-based. They get X amount of commission on what it is that they sell. So it's important to think about your business, what it is that you want to do, and don't get ahead of yourself. Don't start thinking that someone else is going to come in and build this business for you, because that is more than likely not going to happen. That person does not have the same dedication and commitment that you would have as the business owner. They don't own the business, right? That person does not own the business, so you cannot or should not have an expectation that they are going to put into it what you would put into it. That's what I wanted to share with you today. I certainly hope this information has been helpful. If you're interested in learning more about the freight broker business, I'll leave a free link in the description. It's my 5-video series and it's titled How the Load Movement Process Works. It'll give you a chance to come into the office with me and you can get an opportunity to watch me as I move loads. I talk to shippers and carriers to give you a better understanding of how this business works before you come into it. And also, if you want to see how we use our freight broker software, like our LOADBOARD, how we move loads through this software, I'll leave you a free video right here. So until the next time, I wish you the very best in your life and business. See you at the top, because the bottom is much too crowded.